During the examination of the witness, Dr. Best, the tribunal kindly agreed to permit the prosecution to introduce another document which at that time was not available. And with the permission of the tribunal at this time, I should like to offer it. The document is 4051 PS and becomes USA 924. Yes. This document has been shown to the witness Best in the presence of the counsel for the Gestapo, Dr. Merkel, and the witness Best has identified it. The document shows not only that the witness Best had knowledge of the program of counter-terror carried on in Denmark, but that he himself decreed acts of counterterrorism to be taken, and that on one occasion he ordered the execution of a student. During the examination of Dr. Best, the tribunal will recall a series of documents, USA exhibits 911 to 915 inclusive, which were offered to show that the Gestapo murdered a French general. At that time, we had only the photostatic copies of these documents, and I told the tribunal that we would try to obtain the originals. We now have the originals in our possession, and they are being substituted for the photostatic copies. I also asked the witness Best at that time if he knew that at about the time that this alleged murder was supposed to have taken place, that a French general, General Mesnay, was killed. And he said he did not know that. The French prosecution has given us the documentary proof that General Mesnay was killed at that time under circumstances which prove conclusively that this murder was accomplished in conformity with the plans which have heretofore been shown. And to that end, I now offer, as our document next in order, 4069 PS, which becomes USA 925. This document is certified by the delegation of the Ministry of Justice of France. I would ask the tribunal to turn to page 2, which is a letter from the International Red Cross Committee, Geneva, dated 5 April 1945, to Madame Mesnay. I wish to emphasize the fact that this document is dated long before the present time and was written at a time when the other documents which the tribunal has the benefit of were, of course, entirely unknown. This letter states that Monsieur Denzler, attaché at the Swiss legation in Berlin, had sent the certain information concerning General Mesnay. And I should just like to respectfully invite your attention to the second paragraph of his report, where he states that the generals Flavigny, Dubois, and Buisson had been transferred from Oflag 4B in Königstein to Oflag 4C in Colditz. The generals Mesnay and Vautier have also left Königstein in a private car for Colditz. according to a communication from Commandant Crowell, General Mesny was shot near Dresden while trying to escape. That was the report which the International Red Cross sent to Madame Mesny. But I particularly desire to invite the attention of the tribunal to the second document, which is dated 29 April 1945, and which was written by General Buisson to the Minister of War concerning the case of General Mesny. General Buisson states in this letter as follows. On 18 January 1945, and parenthetically, I refresh the recollection of the tribunal that the last document which we offered was dated 12 January 1945, showing that at that time all plans for this murder had been completed. Continuing with the document, the following 6 officers, all generals, from the camp of Königstein, O Flag 4B, were picked out and told to leave the camp on 19 January in the morning for an unknown destination. First car, Generals Dane and Dubois. Now, parenthetically again, if the tribunal will recall, General Dubois was the general whom it was first intended to murder, as shown by the documents. And if you remember, it was decided that General Dubois would not be killed because his name had been discussed too often over the telephone, and therefore another general was to be substituted for him. So you see that General Dubois was in the first car. Second car, Generals Flavigny and Buisson. The third car, Generals Mesny and Vautier. On 19 January, if the first car left at the appointed time, the other 2 did not, as both their order of departure and the times were changed. Second car, 7 a.m., General Mesny alone, for according to information given General Buisson through the German interpreter Rosenberg, an order had arrived from the German High Command during the night, canceling General Vautier's departure. Third car, Flavigny and Buisson. The orders for the journey were draconian. Destination unknown. It was strictly forbidden to make any stop on the way. The door handles were taken off the cars. There was a German officer in each car with an automatic pistol on his knees and his finger on the trigger. Upon our arrival in Colditz, the reprisal camp, toward noon on 19th January, we noticed the absence of General Mesny, who had not arrived. We thought he had been sent to another camp, although his luggage was in the truck with that of the 4 other generals. On January 20th in the morning, Commandant Crowell, head of O Flag 4C, came into the rooms of the French generals and made the following announcement, quoting, "I inform you officially that General Mesny was shot yesterday in Dresden while trying to escape. He was buried in Dresden with military honors by a detachment of the Wehrmacht." Close quote. And then, if it please the tribunal, General Buisson goes on with this comment. And it should be remembered that when he wrote this letter, he, of course, had no knowledge of the plotting as we know it today. He said, "2 facts remain obscure in this somber tragedy. 1, the transport of General Mesny alone. The choice of General Vautier, then the canceling of the order, seemed very suspicious to us, given the attitude of the general, who was a volunteer for work in Germany, and whose transfer to a reprisal camp seemed inexplicable. 2, General Mesny, whose eldest son is in a camp for political deportees in Germany, said to me several times during the course of our conversations, 'If up to 1944 I always tried to prepare my escape, I gave up trying altogether afterwards, even if I had every chance of succeeding. First of all, the end of the war is only a question of weeks. Moreover, and especially, I should be much too afraid that my flight would cost my eldest son his life. An hour before his departure from Königstein on January 19th, General Mesny repeated these words to me again.